Chubb on the toss. Into traffic. They get a good block on the edge, and Chubb turning for a first down, running through tackles out near midfield. Big Isaiah Wynn, the tackle sprung him.
What a great block on the outside. Watch that physicality by Miles McKinney right there. Opened up the edge. They want to get the ball on the perimeter. That was a couple great blocks on the edge there that were able to spring Nick Chubb loose.
25-yard chunk.
Till there are
Senior.
Reach no more.
A timeless play, the Georgia toss sweep, isn't it? Got it again. This time flying up with Stephen Parker, the safety to beat him after a 1-yard gain.
Chubb up front.
First carry for Sony. Michel who cuts it back to the clear. Michel barrels down inside the Oklahoma 30. Set up the pass. And that's the thing that Georgia's done such a good job of, and it keeps you honest on the backside. Chubb again, tries the left, gets it back. How do you like the matchup of Georgia's offensive line so improved this year against the Sooner front?
Well, I think it's on paper it's up to the Sooners. That's what I'm for.
They haven't pressured from yet. This time he backpedals. They affect the throw, flips it to Michel, but the Sooners are all over. And as Dick would say, oh my, what a start for the Sooners offense and Baker Mayfield. From Georgia back to work, and Sony Michel breaks free. Michel in the clear, a foot race. What an answer from Georgia. 75 yards. Down early, but still very explosive. You see the electricity that Sony Michel can provide.
Wow. Talking about needing an answer. That's exactly what they got.
Second touchdown for Michel, who caught his first touchdown reception earlier.
Takes himself right out of the play. You have a defensive back responding, also the linebacker. There's nobody left. Great job by the right side of that offensive line. Thomas and Cleveland, they collapsed down. But what made it so much easier is that Kenneth Murray saw that jet action. Watch how he reacts to that. Two defenders at corner, Trey Norwood, the middle linebacker, Kenneth Murray, both go with him. They bust. And by that bust, it creates a huge space. All who was left there was the defensive lineman, who Sony Michel easily shakes. And then a poor angle there by Will Johnson. There's the speed from Sony Michel.
Yellow number 91, Dylan Famatu. That was a mismatch in space with Sony.
Yeah.
So Georgia not behind by 2 touchdowns for long. A one-play touchdown drive. And Michel and Chubb, the roommates, best friends. bowling buddies, both making an impact already today.
Well, the last thing you can do against Baker Mayfield, you don't want to give them too big of a lead. Right now, they're already up 10.
Sooners don't rush. Only a three-man rush on 3rd and down, and it's incomplete. That was not an accurate throw. It was behind Michel, and it's 4th down.
Well, Michel kind of looked over his shoulder, looking over to look at the defense as he goes on his route here, and you can see him kind of look over to make sure just to where that defense is. He starts to slide and move to the outside, and he just happened to move at the wrong time, right as Jake Fromm was throwing it, where he was set up to catch that football. The football and wearing teams down up front in the second half.
Just the 12th running play of this game for the Dogs, but they've had great success. Chubb not down yet. Churning and chugging to the end zone. $50 yards. And the Dogs cut the deficit in half.
This is what makes Nick Chubb special. And this is exactly what Kirby Smart talked to his team at halftime about and why they're not out of this game down 14. Get a stop, get the ball back, put the ball in the end zone, and now you're down 1 score.
The powerful 225-pounder who's been breaking tackles his whole career when he's healthy, and he broke more here.
This is yards after contact. Amarni Bledsoe has him there. Okoronkwo comes over, but Nick Chubb is again a unique back, low center of gravity, great balance, and if you don't wrap him up, you're not going to bring him down. It's not just a physical offensive line. This is what we want to see. Could Oklahoma handle this? You're up high against him. You're not wrapping up. He gets off 2 more defenders, breaks 3 tackles, and takes it to the house for a touchdown. And again, just like that, Georgia's right back in the game.
Michel was active early, and now the Dogs had their second one-play touchdown drive of this ballgame. It was Michel from 75, Chubb from 50.
You're talking about an offense that's averaging almost 12 yards a play. Georgia. So they don't need to change anything other than the defense continue to make plays against Baker Mayfield.
They are in formation on the bench as always. Always Chubb next to Michel, and they got the young guy DeAndre Swift, the number 7, along for the ride too. That's their normal formation. The roommates and best buddies sit next to each other on the bench every time. Michel in the backfield. He's got it. And Okoronkwo got an arm on him at the time, able to bring the running back down after a 2-yard gain.
Mike Stoops, who is upstairs as a defensive coordinator, sure, he and his defensive staff getting on that Oklahoma defense about the importance of tackling, doing a better job, cannot allow those yards after contact against 2 of these more talented backs in the entire country, in Chubb and Michel.
Both these running backs will be very fresh for the second half. They haven't had huge workload. This is just the 4th carry for Michel. And that electric touchdown run, also caught a touchdown pass, and now the Dogs will face a 3rd and 4, Kirk.
Yeah, great patience there by Michel. It looked like when he got that football that Oklahoma had defended it pretty well. A little hesitation move and a jump cut, and he's able to sliver through there and pick up some yards to give him a chance here on 3rd down and much more manageable. Remember this.
In the 3rd quarter, allowed only 3 third-quarter touchdowns all season long. So this continues a trend. Chubb, for once, is stacked up. Route for a loss.
Throw the ball to number 6.
He's been the top target today with 4 catches. They have a chemistry. Williams again coming to Georgia after a couple.
Don't forget about Michel out of the backfield as a real weapon, especially on 3rd down.
From directing traffic, running out of time. And just get the play off. Michel in the clear. Sony Michel barrels down into the end zone. The hat trick for number 1. "38 yards, and the Dogs down 17 in the final seconds of the first half. A PAT away from the Chubb and Michel tandem going to work.
Jim Chaney made a really good point to us last night. Things that get overlooked at times. This is what the freshman does, Jake Fromm. Look at the right side of the offensive line. There's no one there. Jake Fromm goes away from the left, back to the right, something that often gets overlooked, but just getting out of a bad run play into a good run play. Give Jake Fromm a lot of credit for making the check at the line of scrimmage. That's a lot of game prep. This is what's really separated him from Jacob Eason. This awareness and an ability to make a check in a game like this, see the weakness of the defense, get Michel the ball, and he's off to the races.
Off the charts football IQ, just a rare feel, decision-making and poise from Fromm, and Michel just tiptoes down the sideline. He's caught a touchdown pass and run for a couple.
Just stayed in and in for the touchdown.
AT&T pylon cam showing you the delicate footwork of Sony Michel.
Oh, that's a great shot. But again, that just, you know, sometimes we look at quarterbacks and we want to see the great pass.
Chubb hit by Okoronkwo in the backfield and nothing doing. Get their offense the football back. Chubb hesitates, stacked up after it's Michel. That's it back. Talking about a Georgia team that's averaged 13 yards per running play. So you know what they'd love to do here. Jim Chaney, feed Michel, feed Chubb, chew clock, set up a game-winning score.
Yeah, well, when you're running the ball as well as this offense has, that's a great plan. Remember, other than going to Auburn, almost every other game they have played, they have worn teams down in the second half.
Chubb, that time stacked up. It's only a yard and a half. Marquise Overton at the end got him. From Oklahoma's defenses. Around the end, Michel strung out and loses the ball. It's out. The Sooners have it. Stephen Parker, a scoop and score.
Stayed in.
Kelly again forcing the fumble, and Michel has had a monster game. Found the end zone 3 times. Makes a crucial mistake. Tremendous body control right there. That's the step they'll look at right there.
The left foot, the initial step, not this one. This one coming up. Right there. He's in. He's in. Yeah, he's in.
A 46-yard fumble return by Stephen Park.
This defense.
Field is confirmed. Touchdown.
How fitting for him to be able to make a play like this. Kelly also a guy that's been instrumental for this defense at times, a 5-star recruit out of Fresno. But I'll tell you, we're going to go back and look at eventually. Trey Norwood, a true freshman corner, took a calculated risk by going underneath the potential block of Javon Wims, and he got enough on Michel to force him to slow down and to go outside, where Kelly eventually got him. Typically a corner will stay outside. This is a risk where he shoots underneath of this block right here. That to me is the key. Watch Norwood accelerate right there. He gets underneath, gets an arm on Michel. Now Michel has to kind of restart himself, and the rest of the defense has time to come over. Kelly knocks him down, but I love this play by Norwood. A true freshman rolls the dice. If he goes in there and misses, it's a different play, but he forces him after he makes contact to go outside. Kelly undercuts him, the ball comes out, and the rest is history.
You know, you feel for Sony Michel, hadn't lost a fumble in a running play since his freshman season. And the senior's having a monster game. He and Chubb coming back for this year to put Georgia in this position. Now he has to personally regroup as he goes back out there.
There is a long way to go in this football game. 6:46.
Winding down. Chubb hit behind the line, and the Sooners are flying down. Michel has had the big night, but had the big fumble.
Can understand defense.
Good protection. Now it breaks down. Fromm has to scramble. Flips it off short. Michel in space. Makes a man miss and is spun down inside the 25 by Will Johnson. First down, Georgia.
How about this look right here? I thought DJ Ward had it. It wasn't a blitz. They rushed 4, but watch Ward get into it. Right there, he's got him. It looks like, you know, just when you think Fromm's going to take off, there's that awareness we talked about, being able to.
And the Dogs shift around.
Overset to the left.
Chubb, it's the wild dog and the running back. Direct snap, cuts back and scores. Now the poor punt set it up, but the Dogs take it 59 yards in 7 plays.
My initial thought as he crossed that end zone, did they score? Yeah, this is overset to the right. Big, strong, couple extra bodies there. They outflank him. See the big freshman out front, Andrew Thomas. Put Nick Chubb on the corner there. He's going to find that crease. All those big bodies just pushing those Oklahoma defenders out of the way. But like I said, 55 seconds and 3 timeouts. This is Baker Mayfield territory.
Meanwhile, the tailback tandem for the Dogs, 2 touchdowns each, and Michel and Chubb have combined for 295 yards and 4 touchdowns. And the kid was very cool when he had to be. Mayfield, 3 timeouts, as he said.
Listen, crowd in the line against the run.
Chubb tries to bounce it, and he'll be met by Okoronkwo. 1-yard gain. Handoff, and Michel picks it. Chubb scored a touchdown earlier on a direct snap. Now it's Michel's turn, running all the way. Gets to the edge. Sony Michel will send the Dogs home to the championship game. Just like that, the Sooners season ends, and the Dogs can dream big about a national championship. It'll be their first since 1980. Sony Michel, 4 touchdowns to offset a crucial fumble. But the final word in the highest scoring Rose Bowl ever.
Congratulations, guys. The Dogs headed to the national title. Chris.
Massive plays as Mayfield is consoled. 4th today.
4th, and don't forget the fumble that he had. Look at the blocks by Nada. Good block downfield. Look at the quarterback,
Yep.
Jake Fromm picking up a block. But remember, Michel was the one who fumbled the ball that Oklahoma picked up and scored. How fitting that he's able to put that in the end zone. And of course, there's the reaction from Baker Mayfield. Will never wear a Sooners jersey again.
Post-game coverage, including the trophy.
The second Browns pick of the night already.
With the 35th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Nick Chubb, running back, Georgia. Okay,
What a thrill it must be for
Nick Chubb on the run.
Nick Chubb, running back, had 44 career rushing touchdowns.
He's strong, he's powerful, downhill runner.
Makes game-changing plays.
Okay, so it's Mayfield, Ward, Corbett, and Chubb. How much of a thrill must it be to be a young running back, to be having your name called by Jim Brown to join the Browns as a running back?
Well, height as a quarterback, as a coach, is overrated. Let's go to the pick. Here's the commission.
With the 31st pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Sony Michel,
There you go.
running back, Georgia.
Okay, so in an offensive system that lost Dion Lewis and has had obviously James White, Rex Burkhead, we've seen it, how they use running backs like matchup nightmares. This is one, huh?
Yeah, I mean, he averaged 7 yards against Bama. He reminds me when they hand the ball to him of Alvin Kamara. He's a violent runner, even though he's a make-you-miss guy. Look at